Hey guys, so of course everybody knows that it's important to plan out your smart contract and do it correctly, right? But oftentimes I see it being planned function by function, like add this capability, add that capability, and so on. But that might lead you to confusing and often complex smart contracts and issues. So bowl of spaghetti code, so to speak. Well, blockchain is all about storing state, like contracts and agreements and so on. So you must plan and think in those terms instead. There are 3 steps actually to follow. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that in Toolblox. So let's begin. Right, let's create a new smart contract. Let's use the wizard. My new escrow smart contract. So the first thing you must decide is what is the asset? So what is the actual object you want to store, but also what are the properties it has and attributes. So in our case, the contract is escrow payment, and the object attributes are this is what gets stored on blockchain, right? So we have ID for each payment, okay. We also have a status for each payment, okay. Now let's add few more. Let's add also the amount of the payment in money type, but let's also add the buyer blockchain address and the seller address. All right, so that's our object or item. Second, what are the states? So what is the life cycle of your asset? And in Toolbox, it's easy to add that. So let's say for an escrow payment, what might be the states? So first of all, we have invoiced, then we have paid, and then we have settled. Right? And only the third item that you must decide is what are the functions that actually help you manage this life cycle. So in this case, we would have maybe invoice function, then we would have pay function, and then also to become settled, let's say the confirm receipt function, and that's it. So let's fill them in completely. Now for each function you always have parameters that the function accepts. So for our case, let's add, so if you want to invoice a payment, you must have the amount, of course, and also the buyer address. And on blockchain, it's vital to also add access restrictions. So in our case, let's restrict the invoice function to be only available for the seller, right? Now on the pay side, we restrict it to the buyer, and we also add payment block from the caller, which is of course the buyer, to the workflow, which is the smart contract itself. Because we have an escrow, right? In the amount variable, and I think that's it for the payment. And then for the confirm receipt, we make it only available for the buyer. So the idea is that of course the buyer can then indicate that I have received the item, and it's fine for the payment to be released to the seller. Right. So let's add also a payment here from the caller, which is from the workflow, of course, because it's in escrow, to the seller in the amount. So that's it. So in summary, when planning out the smart contract, always think in terms of what is the asset, what is the life cycle of the asset, and thirdly, what are then the functions that help to drive that life cycle forward.